rain delays, 5-7 years ago, we'd leave the racetrack, we'd go to Hooters, we'd have a couple beers, eat chicken wings, and crash and go to the racetrack next morning. Now, with all of the SMT data and everything you guys have, drivers, crew chiefs, and spotters are having to leave the racetrack and go study. It's a different freaking world right now, right?
Oh, it's way different. Yeah, you're always going back to look to see where you can get better. It's just you've already got a playbook now for how the day is going and what people are doing, and you go and look at it. I mean, this is stuff that you kind of get on the fly as the race is going on, but this is stuff you go look at after the race and be like, yeah, this is how we're getting beat. Now you got a night to look at it. So you go there and, okay, Truex can obviously run turns 1 and 2 about wide open. I mean, he was stupid fast, but so you know where your weak spots are, and it gives Brad a chance to go look at how guys are making passes, where they're timing their runs at more, and then obviously I'm sure Freddie probably talked to Bubba at some point as well, but you talk to him about restarts, what you saw, where the moves are happening, what's possible, what's not possible, where you don't want to be. And
so is it fair to say you're working harder now than you ever have as a spotter?
Oh, way, 100%.
So I'm going to ask you a question, put you on the spot. Jeff Burton made the comment with about 20 to go yesterday that I don't know that the spotter today is as important as he's been in the past as it pertained to a run that Martin Truex was getting on Buescher, and Buescher kind of taking advantage of that run. And he's basically insinuating that the camera is so good that the spotter isn't as important. What do you guys say to that?
Oh, that's fine for one car. But, I mean, what's happening, you can tell me that driver's going to – I don't want my driver looking in the mirror all the way through the corner. I want him focusing on what's going out front and hearing the words. So I can tell you this, I don't think my driver would agree with that, as much info as he wants. I don't think my previous driver wanted as much or even more than I could give. Even Dale Jr. evolved into that. Dale Jr. used to be the old school, not bare minimum, but you gave him some info to tell me more. And I'm not saying the cameras aren't good, but, I mean, I'd rather not look in my mirror and focus out front.
You can't go forward looking backwards.
Yeah, and what you can't see is what's happening behind that guy. Like, I can tell you right now, when a guy comes off the corner and gets, pushes a guy, they're flying, and it's nice to know, if they're tight, the driver can prepare for that run. He doesn't know what's going on behind there. I mean, I'm working more now than I ever have as a spotter, just studying lines, studying things, looking at runs, where this is happening, why this is happening, how to defend it. What's the best place to defend? What's the best? How can you run the most optimal race possible?
It's a ridiculous statement. I mean, our job encompasses so much more than what is just going on behind us, that to say that our job is easier now because of these cameras is ridiculous. Because I look down, let's take a certain car, for example, the 21 car, who just happens to be Jeff Burton's son. Tyler Green has SMT on an iPad mounted to the rail in front of him every lap of every race this year. And he is helping Harrison get around that track, feeding him information about what to do with the throttle, what to do with the brake pedal, how his steering input is, what line he's running. If I'm Tyler Green and I hear my driver's dad say this on the radio, on the national TV broadcast, the next time Harrison asks me for help, I'm going to tell him, look at his camera. Like, see what that does for you.
Another thing is, too, with this car and the same gearing, the restarts are insane. So what that camera also doesn't show you is how tight that guy is on your door, how many cars were even over there, and stuff like that. You get to turn one, how do you know if you're 4 wide? How do you know?
I don't think he took that statement as literal. I mean, I get his point as well, meaning the technology has helped a ton. So I don't think
Casey, he said our jobs are not as important as they used to be. That's what he said. I can't take his words back. I'm not making it up for him. He said it on national television.
What's accurate is the technology is really cool. Like, knowing
what
they're doing with the technology, knowing
we
how
race
that
closer
changes
together
your
now.
job.
We race closer together now than we ever have. And to me, there's a lot more being transmitted over these radios than there was 15 years ago.
I love Jeff Burton. I spotted for him for 3 years, and he's wrong. He's wrong. It's simple.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, there's safety aspects of what's going on in front of us. There's the line aspects of, the boxes is feeding us. If we're not watching SMT ourselves, the box is feeding us SMT data to relay to the driver.
If you would have put that camera in the car 20 years ago when he was driving, I'm sure it would have been great and easy because there wasn't, everything to me was even spread out more. So, and easier to, there was more give and take and stuff like that. But now we're 4 wide on restarts. Guys are linking up. I mean, honestly, restarts in Michigan are even harder now because guys have figured out to push. And you push until you get, and then they break off into one, and then it's just 2 by 2 here. Then all of a sudden, 2 inside, 1 outside. Then everything breaks loose, and that camera doesn't tell you that
Well,
stuff
that's
either.
easy now because they got a camera.
One thing on the new technology these days in this next gen car, I saw an interesting post from Xfinity Racing account where it says the only drivers with back-to-back wins in the next gen era are Harvick, Byron, and Chris Buescher, which is insane to think how many races we've had.
Competition's
Well,
tough.
I mean, it's only been a season and a half, right? And it's not like it's a giant sample size.
Fair, but back
But I mean,
in
we
the
had
day,
guys
we
winning
had
10 races a
multiple-
year, and
Oh,
we don't
I
see
get
that
it, but I'm
anymore.
just saying. But how many times back to back has always been rare.
And two of
For,
those,
for anything.
Yeah.
and 2 of those drivers are Ford drivers, which earlier this season we were talking about. Just a few races ago we were talking about how Ford was really struggling. So it is interesting when you put into perspective how much Ford has improved as well. Like they're really on it compared to earlier this year.
I don't know if you saw it, but I saw a statement Brad made that this is a result of stuff that was happening late last year, earlier this year. Like this is like the speed now is from working hard then, and you can't ever quit. It doesn't, things evolve and take time to go into fruition or and make speed. But to go from what a part I like about it is both cars are fast at the same places, and I think Brad and Chris work really well with each other on the track. They know when to help each other. They know when it's time to race. Like Richmond, we were holding Chris off for the lead, but it was a good battle. You know what I mean? But it's just cool to see both, and we 2 different types of tracks too. We go from a short track to arguably one of the bigger tracks we go to, minus it being a super speedway. So
Every time we make up a word on here, can we do something fun like fruition? I don't think is that a word.
What's
Yeah.
fruition?
Fruition? He said fruition.
same thing. That's like you trying to say.
I say words all the time on here that aren't words. That's why I'm
yeah,
asking.
yeah.
What can we do to celebrate making up words?
I mean,
Kligerman, Pawgrass. I mean, we got a lot. We got our own.
We
that
made up-
one still sticks. They say that the track all the time, for the record.
Fruition.
I mean, honestly,
Fruition.
we should celebrate
I don't
every
think it's a
time.
word. There's a T
it's
in
not.
there.
Every
Yeah. See?
time Freddie says axe, because that is a
Axe
word
is a word.
Axe is a word.
Axe is absolutely a word.
instead of ask.
I had an axe in my house yesterday chopping wood. I axe all the time.